What's going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time to talk about Gurren Lagann, episode 13. This was a really good episode of Gurren Lagann, and maybe it's because Nia was barely in it. No, I kid, but I don't hate her that much. Though I am surprised that she's not a 5-star fucking gourmet goddess, fucking Komatsu chef, Toriko reference. Just because, she's perfect at everything else that she did in the last episode, but that's still not, that's not what I mean when I say a flawed character. That's not a personality flaw. It's not like a character flaw that they could work on. Simone was cowardly, and then he went through that funk where, Kamina was dead, and he was super depressed and angry. And then you have Yoko and her shit, and then Kamina even was very impulsive and never wanted to run away. Very stubborn in that regard. They had flaws that made them more, realistic and more fleshed out, and Nia just doesn't have that at all. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I joke when I say that her not being in the episode makes it really good. But it is a really good episode. There's a lot of good action. I really enjoyed Gurren Lagann, Simone and Yoko versus, what's his name? Is it Veril? Or is it something like Veril? I'm not sure. I remembered it before I started recording and then I forgot. The dude with the hair over the eye. They fight. It's really cool. Lots of cool midair clashing and dashing around. I'm a sucker for that. That's always pretty damn cool in a series. And the animation overall was really good in the episode. I did notice too during the big kick scene with Daigunzan. What's Daigunzan? I forget. It jumps in the air and it does that big kick, and the animation was different. I don't know. The shading style and the art was overall kind of different, but while we're on the subject of the art and animation, it was really good animation. I liked some of the, hand-to-hand combat with the mechs between Gurren Lagann and whatever fucking the dude's gunman is called, but they're fighting it out, and it's cool and it's well animated. But I will say, and this has been an issue with Gurren Lagann in general, they don't always convey weight that well. They don't really convey the size of these things. Like when Daigunzan jumps in the air and does that swinging kick, I don't really feel the weight I should feel from something that size fucking aerial kicking a fucking giant helicarrier from the Avengers. I don't know, I just didn't feel the weight there. Maybe you guys did. It could be just a difference in perspective, but that's my perspective on it. I didn't feel the weight of the anime. The animation didn't convey the weight, I should say. So that's something I've noticed throughout the series. It doesn't bother me too much. I just figured I would address it finally. But yeah, the fighting's cool. And then, they get all face-to-face and badass, and he finds out that Kamina's dead, which we didn't know he thought Kamina was alive, did we? He just sort of drops that bomb that he thought he was fighting Kamina the whole time. I guess it's not really a bomb drop, but yeah. Also, Yoko piloting. That's a good idea. Why was that not, why is it Forehead Dude? I have nothing against Forehead Dude, he's okay. But, why wasn't it Yoko? That made sense to me. Also, Buddha was fucking amazing in this episode. Anytime he appears, he's amazing just by his sheer fucking design, but he was awesome in this episode because he actually did more than just stand around and sit around, so yeah, he was cool. And yeah, her piloting was awesome. She tries to do some sniping while inside of the cockpit and everything. It was cool. That's a good idea. Also, I was watching this with a friend who already seen the series, and I was joking. I was like, dude, Gurren Lagann can just do anything with his fucking drills and shit. He'll just probably make drill wings. And before that, he started doing, Spider-Man drill things, and I was like, oh my god, it's cool, but it's, weird as fuck. And then he actually did assimilate a plane and make wings, and I was like, I was fucking joking. Not in a bad way. I get that he can assimilate stuff. We've seen him do it before. I'm pretty sure, that's how they merged originally, right? And we've seen him heal and shit, however the fuck that works. So, him assimilating the plane is okay. It's just funny that I was like, he'll probably just grow wings, and then he fucking did. Base, kind of. He didn't grow them, but still. So yeah, I was joking, and it was just funny, and not a major criticism. Not even really a criticism, actually. But yeah, that was just funny. And yeah, really cool action. It was crazy that they got Daigunzan that high in the air and kicked that thing. It was a cool episode. It had a lot of cool action, some cool emotional moments, I guess, when he talked about Kamina, and they're like, he's dead, and that was cool, and like I said, the fight was cool, though I do dislike how they cut away from the fight. It felt very Godzilla 2014, where they get face-to-face, they're ready to throw down, and then it cuts to them on a fucking video screen, and then it cuts away, and you do see more of the fight and everything. It just kind of sucks that it got all hyped up with them walking towards each other and face-to-face, and then it cuts away, but again, just a little funny moment, not really a major criticism. And then we get the ending, which is the big story part of this episode, where the Spiral King is you want to know about Beastmen? I'll tell you about Beastmen. And he basically tells Veril, if that's even his fucking name, that Beastmen are flawed and that they'll die their cells will decay and they'll die if they don't go into like this hibernation mode thing. And he shows him this. Now, he wasn't that specific though. Does he mean like they'll die like what does he mean? Like, are they not immortal? Like they live as long as humans and then they go into hibernation so they don't die? Or do they have very short lives, like 20 years or something? And then, yeah, so that's a little, because I mean, if they live a full life like a human and then they go into this hibernation thing to stay alive, that's not really that flawed. It's just like people. I guess, well, people are flawed, but still. So yeah, I don't know. But he asks them what humans are, because humans are fucking badass and they're fighting back and everything, and it's kind of fucking up his perspective on things. So he's got some good characterization throughout the series. I think this is the first time his characterization is really starting to show, so I like that. And I liked him also, you know, the whole for honor thing, you know, let the girl go so I can fight this guy and win, you know, not have a hostage. Because they do take a hostage every time. Like, Simo points that out. Like, you always take a fucking hostage, and it's so true. So, usually Nia. Fucking Nia. But anyways, also the old dude was, like, chilling when she was cooking. Like, also her with the fucking chef's hat was kind of adorable. But speaking of chef's hat, we saw the old dude with the chef hat. Once again, looking like the straight-up Muppets. And, he saved her a couple of times, and then he disappears, and is he just, like, is he a part of the crew? Like, I don't, like, that's weird to me. Am I missing something there? Has he always been there? Because when he saves her in that one episode, it's like, oh, this old guy, did I know he was a thing? And then he disappears, and she's like, oh, where'd Gramps go? And then he saved her again in the beach episode, last episode, when she was falling, and he gave that creepy-ass smile, and then he was gone again. And now he's just chilling in the mess hall, and it's like, is this guy just a part of the crew? Speaking of people who are part of the crew, when they were gonna make Die Gunzon jump, and there's the bitch in like the engine room, I guess, and she's like, you can count on me, and I'm sitting here like, count on you? I don't even know who the fuck you are. Like, literally never seen that character before. Or if I have, it was very briefly, because she's just like, you can count on me, and I'm like, wait, who the fuck? So yeah. A lot of these characters were just rush introduced. I mean, some of them were introduced in, like, the episode where the full team was assembled, but I feel like some of them were introduced just on the fly, like the weird, like, big-lipped, like, stripy shirt dude who just, like, is a total spaz. He's just kind of there. A few of these characters are just kind of there, and I don't really care about them, and they didn't really get proper introductions, so, yeah, well, yeah, it is what it is, but, yeah, I don't know. That's this episode. All over the place, talking about the series itself and fucking just different points in the episode. But overall, I definitely enjoyed this episode quite a bit. Varel, if that's his name, got good characterization development. The fighting was really good. The animation was really good. Even if I do have like that nitpick about the weight of the mechs and everything. And Yoko was cool too. Though the ending did kind of bother me when she was like, you know I had to think for Kamina, right? And he's like, yeah, I did. He says it like it wasn't the reason Kamina died. Like, are they just, like, does that bother anyone else, like, at all, that fucking, that's the reason he fucking died, and they're just kind of, like, brushing it off like it's not a big deal? Like, the fact that they kissed is what was fucking up Simone in the head, and why Kamina had to keep going up there and punching him and getting his head back in the game, and then he took that hit that ultimately killed him. And Simone's just like, yeah, I knew you guys had a thing. Like, am I the only one? Like, maybe you can call that nitpicking. I don't know. It kind of bothers me, but whatever. I'm still going to give this episode a solid 8 to 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was a very good to great episode of Gurren Lagann. That's pretty much all I have to say. So what did you guys think of this episode of Gurren Lagann? You can go ahead and tell me in the comments section below. You can also follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm petplatypus on both. Follow me on Twitter at DAJFilms. You can also give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both those would really help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.